Hi, this is Bruce with Hunsaker Home Hacks. Please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for future notifications, share me with a friend and on social media. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Alright, so today we're talking about EBO, not EBO SE or EBO Air, but EBO X. Right here is EBO X. Now normally X means 10, but I'm not sure what the X means in EBO X, to be honest with you. But it sounds cool. EBO X. So EBO X is your smart guardian. So there you go, smart guardian. Alright, so EBO X. Now this will be coming to a Kickstarter near you. What are we talking about? So these are second generation EBOs. This is EBO Air, and this is the one with the smart AI in it. And this is EBO SE. He's a great little kind of security drone robot. You can also have him do different things. Now EBO Air has a lot more features, both very durable little bots. This one lives in my downstairs. This one lives in the studio itself. This one has different types of sensors on it, so it doesn't fall down the stairs. This one does not have those sensors, doesn't have drop sensors on it. So he will continue to cruise down all the stairs if given the chance. I currently have him on this because I don't want him rolling around on my desktop, on my countertop here. What does EBO X have in him? What does he do? Well, alright, so instantly he's known as the Smart Guardian. So much like your ability with these guys to do dial-in patrolling and things of that nature, and these are very good for that. I use these all the time. He actually guards my front door. He also can traverse my entire downstairs. Now he doesn't use it in the same way that EBO X will do it. He pretty much does a pattern until he finds his charger. So he will go out, wander around, do his type of thing. He has two different modes. He has security mode and then he has play mode. Play mode is to get the attention of Bruno the dog. Which it does. He starts making a bunch of noise. The dog gets kind of excited, goes checks him out, gets the dog moving around a little bit. This one does not have that feature, but he does leave the charger, does a patrol, and then he returns back to patrol. Let's talk about how these two EBOs move compared to the EBO X. This one uses a brush motor track system. This one here uses a brushless motor track system, and it uses four wheels to transverse the tracks. But EBO X is going to use two wheels, such as something like MIP here. It has a two-wheel balancing system, so it's going to self-balance itself and be able to right itself. That was one of my big questions on social media when I saw it. What happens to EBO X when it gets knocked over? And they were kindly enough to post this video here reflecting what looks like. Much like EBO SE and EBO Air, in one of my videos you'll see me, I believe it was the EBO SE right here, if you took them and rolled them on the ground. All right, I'm not gonna throw you. If you roll them on the ground, then what happens? I'm not throwing you. He always seems to want to land on his feet, just like that. So he can roll this way, but they usually land on their feet. That's because the weight of the ball is at the bottom. So I believe that's exactly kind of the same theory that EBO X is set up for, except the two wheels gives it ability to kind of prop either which way. So weight distribution is this way, and then it gives it the ability to land on the wheels, and then he can pop himself back up, which is super cool because that's what you want from your robot guardian. You want him to be able to transverse your home, but you don't want him to fall down and not get up. This little EBO SE does not have any edge detection features, so he will proceed to go down stairs and things of that nature. This little guy has at least 3 features here. 1, 2, 3. And he will not fall down the stairs, and he will back up when he does come across an edge. And he does that very well. So that is good. So he has edge detection. This one will also back up a little bit. They do kind of transverse and look at things and move around items. But it appears that EBO X will have the greater ability to do that, to avoid obstacles. The other thing that EBO X will have that these two do not have is sound source location. In other words, we'll hear a sound and be able to source that location of that sound. In other words, go to the sound. All right. Now, the smart mapping is powered by VSLAM. Provides an accurate area management, intelligent route management, and planning. Enables charger location memory. So in other words, these do not use that type of a feature. These use, basically there's an IR on the charger, and they do not remember the total position of the charger, but they know that there's an IR on the charger. When it goes back into recharge mode, these will then go through a pattern until they find the IR. Once they locate the IR, then they go through their programming to return and back up into the charger. It is quite cool to watch them do it, but they will travel around until they are within range of the IR. But the EBO X appears to have the ability, because of the VSLAM, it's going to memorize the location for where it's in. So it's going to map out your home, and it will remember the location of its charger. So EBO X will also have Bluetooth support, which will come in handy because EBO X also has Harman Audio, which will give EBO X a good sound. All right, so built-in light effects. So you can see from the photo here that there are lights in the facial area of EBO X, and those lights have some color changing features. And it does look like it would be able to show some different lighting effects for different things. Now, what else they can do with that? Can they use that to add more personality, more responses, things of that nature? That would be very cool. Okay, and EBO X will have dedicated app features. You'll be able to receive alert notifications. Now, I get alert notifications from this guy all the time. It will tell me that there's human detection or animal detection, depending on how I have him set up. And since he watches my front door from his charging station when he is not roaming the house, he will actually send me a notification that someone entered the front door, and then I can click into him to see the video that he has recorded. It does have, EBO X will have two-way audio communication, but one-way video communication. So two-way audio means I can talk to you, you can talk to me verbally over EBO X. And EBO X will then give you one-way video. It's pretty much something you can pretty much do with this guy here. As we can see through this application, we have two-way audio. We can hear. And you can talk through this one. So this one has two-way audio and one-way video, pretty much like EBO X will have. And you'll have that same feature for telecommunications, EBO X. So that's cool. Now, the improvement is going to be the 4K camera. This is a stabilized camera. You can look at this. Stabilized camera has a tilt feature, so you will be able to tilt the camera from within the application. That is not possible with any of these two boys. So if you're on, and it's also going to have the ability to pan, but it does not have a pan on the camera. It basically is going to be able to use the robot to do the panning effect from the wheels. A 4K stabilized camera, so it's a 4K camera, so it should have a really, really good picture. you'll be able to take photos and videos, and it should have a portrait center feature to it. In other words, it doesn't say if you can say automatically EBO X take a picture, okay? If you could, Emo thinks I told him to take a picture. It doesn't say that you can do something like that, but it sounds like you should be able to take a photo with your EBO. So you should say EBO, and he comes up, and you have the family photo that you want to get taken, and you say take a picture, and it sounds like he's going to have the ability to center the family within the frame of the picture and take a picture. But I do not see any documentation that says that's the ability, but I would believe that's what portrait centered would mean. Color night vision, that's kind of cool. So 2-wheel self-balancing. Now at first, as I said, my fear on it was that it would not be able to right itself, but after asking the question, Enabot and their people were able to show evidence of video of them tossing him around, kind of like they did when they lost these, how he rights himself. And that's super cool. Built-in Alexa features. It's kind of a love-hate relationship with Alexa. In my opinion, I like my Echo Dots. They're super cheap, but if there's built-in Alexa feature, so that means we're going to have maybe Alexa on the bot. But there's also other things you can do with Alexa. Will I be able to say, Alexa, show EBO X on my screen, and then be able to see the vision on my television set through my Fire Stick? That would be a cool feature. And then I can probably build EBO X into routines. Now, if I'm able to build EBO X into routines, that would be cool. So if I said EBO X, see it when you see a human figure, do this in the home through my smart house, my smart home. So maybe EBO X sees a human enter the door, and as soon as he sees the human, he turns on a particular light or series of lights in the house. That would be super cool if I can build EBO X into routines. Then I could see that as being a highly beneficial scenario. There is no screen on EBO X like these two boys. It would be kind of cool if there was some type of screen, but there is not. I've seen some people make comments on that, why it doesn't have a screen. And I can kind of understand what they're saying is you can do a lot with the screen, or it's just not something that you were looking to do in a globe-like robot. I think EBO X is going to need some type of personality. I mean, a robot guardian, it's just going to guard my house, and that's cool. But these two guys have stagnant personalities. In other words, they do what they do. There's no interactive personality. He can ID a human being, and because he can ID a human being, he kind of, when he latches onto you, he will follow you around if you're walking at a pace that he can compete with. Sometimes if you're sitting in the chair, he'll come rolling up and he'll just start kind of looking at you. If you stand up, he'll roll back a little bit. So he can recognize people. That's super cool. EBO X, I think, will need to have some type of personality. Would be beneficial to EBO X. In other words, maybe the ability to greet the owner, and it can recognize the human individual. You can have fun with that. And there's a lot of different things you could do. Maybe give the control built into the app, the ability when you see grandpa, you say this. When you see grandma, you say this. Those would all be viable things that I would love to see Enabot be able to provide. Then they could tap into the source of the suggestions from the individuals and add those to a pool of information. And then in turn be able to say, hey, here's some suggestions if you want him to do this. That would be super cool. So I'm excited about EBO X. These boys here are two of my favorite roaming bots. I have a few robots here. This guy lives on my desk, but these guys are very dependable for me. If I need to know what's going on in my house, these are two of the most dependable robots to determine what is going on in the house. Not only is his notifications very good, I can actually tap into him from work. I can tool him around my home, and I can see exactly what's going on. And I have not been let down by him. He has gotten stuck a few times, but not very often. He usually transverses very well. He's running probably about a good 98% of the time in my house. I do have wood floors throughout my entire house, not a lot of extra carpets or things of that nature. I'm really excited about EBO X. I would like to get him into my house as soon as possible so I can then talk about him and actually put him through some of the tests that I would love to do. But I think if he is made as well as these guys, that's going to be a super well made bot. Again, I am super excited for EBO X. Now this should be hitting Kickstarter about I do believe mid-March, and that's coming soon. So if you're interested in EBO X, go to their website and click the link so you can follow. You can get early bird notification for that. I'll put the link below for you. Now this is Bruce with Hunsaker Home Hacks. Please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for future notifications. Share me with a friend and on social media. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And me and the boys will see you soon. Right? See you soon. See you soon. Where are you going? Here, you stay right there. Bye. Let's try that over again. EBO X. Try that over again. Ah, shoot. No! Blooper. Ah, shoot. So, you know, we're entering the bathroom now. We'll start at the next cue, Phil. But it sounds cool. All right, Phil. Come on, Phil.